tonight on the Broalition, we celebrate Straight Pride Month.
Woohoo! Straight.
Okay, apparently our band has been drinking.
They're cutting out.
I don't know what's wrong with that.
It's fine.
That's why you buy a cheap file. That's what you get. Hey, welcome to Broalition. Pastor Lee, joined as always on my right by Mike Paul, the guy with two first names for a name.
And Hoosier Hillbilly anymore. He doesn't give you any credit.
I know. That's crap.
The Hoosier Hillbilly.
Thank you.
And on my left, J.R. Robinson.
Just JR.
Just JR.
Just that's it. J.R. The pirate. It's good to have you here. We've been out a couple of weeks. You guys, I love your patience because you never know when we're actually going to be on. But we get sick. You have to understand, I am the sole brains behind this outfit. So if I'm down, the whole podcast falls apart.
True.
Because seriously, if I'm not here, these two would just sit here in silence for 30 minutes and just look at each other.
Do you know that we
longingly
we thought about filming one without you last week?
We did.
Oh, I can't believe you guys would do that.
We didn't, but
we didn't.
We really thought about it.
Yeah, if you'd done that, it probably had 1 million views.
And we were going to talk crap the entire time, but
go and kill myself. But yeah, I was just feeling bad. I had my little summer cold, and I'm over that. As you can tell, a couple of weeks ago, I was about to have a hacking fit before we got off here. But it just, I for some reason, I do a Bible study before this, and when I talk a whole lot, I start getting sick, start coughing. I don't know what it is. Maybe old age. How about that? So, hey, in case you've been underneath a rock, well, you're going to find out pretty soon if you don't know already. This is Gay Pride Month, and buddy, get ready for it. I didn't know that it ever ended. I mean, it just felt like that we just had Gay Pride Month.
Yeah, that's what Shapiro was saying. It's just like, we don't need to take this month to celebrate them. We celebrate them every day. Every time we turn the TV on, every time we turn the radio on.
Every day it's a celebration.
Yeah.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I can't imagine just, I would be offended. I'd be like, we get it, guys. Okay, thank you. That's it.
The men that gave their life for this country, one day.
One day. The guys who gave their lives so you could be gay get one day. And you get an entire year.
You get 365.
Yeah.
And then even more attention on another 30 of them.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm seriously, I mean, if they had a Christian month or something like that, I'd be like, we really don't need this.
No, we don't want
We don't. We're good. Thank you. But so we're gonna use this podcast to kind of educate you. We're not gonna talk about that stuff, but because we can talk about it any time during the year because it's always happening. It's like Black History Month. Black History Month's like every month. Every time I turn on Amazon, it's Black History Month.
Yeah.
Shop black, watch black.
Watch black. Once again, I just say if you turned on Amazon and it said White History Month, you'd be like, that's racist. But but every time
we've been trying to have that
Black History Month, Asian history, Asian. It's like watch these shows from all these Asians. I'd be offended. I think I would.
I bet the Asians would be offended by that.
I would
by being called out only 1 month a year.
They probably would.
That's true. Oh, Asians, you need to rise up. Well, no, don't do that. You started World War II. Don't do that. But you seriously, where's the Muslim month? Why aren't we celebrating Muslims? And the albino month, and the midget albino month.
I think there's a.
We're running out of months.
I'm very offended.
You should be.
That's right.
You look offended.
You're not a midget or
Right.
an albino, though.
We have actually a midget albino underneath this table. We do. He runs the podcast. It's his fault the music's bad.
Yep.
So this
week
week,
is offended.
yeah.
So many people.
This week we had a tragedy, and it is. Whenever some nutcase goes into a school. But then again, here we go. It just every time something like this happens, it's the same old tired argument. We got to get rid of guns, and it's this belief that if we could just do that there won't be any more of these things happen in America. And I'm gonna share something with you, and you guys, if you're older like me, and even these guys at their age, it's like we used to go to school with gun racks.
Yeah, shotguns hanging on the back glass.
Yeah, and you had them in the back glass, and
I remember that even in the 90s. Yeah.
and nobody even thought about doing it. First of all, you get killed before you even got into the school.
Yeah.
Secondly, when you got home, your parents would kill you. Oh my gosh, really?
His phone's upside down too. Just saying.
Oh, stupid iPhone.
Google.
So it's not, and we're going to get all Christian on you, but it's a morality issue. And all this stuff started happening when we said a human life is not worth anything with abortion. Mm-hmm. That's when we started seeing a rise in all these shootings start taking place. But a lot of this stuff is like the left is so desirous of this happening that I think they're actually motivating people to do it. Especially if you have some nut job, it's like, you know what, I can get rid of guns if I just go into a school and start shooting children. Yep. You got people out there who are going to do that stuff. And so it's a tragedy. I know, and we could talk all day about the police response to it.
The hero.
The hero who actually went in there and did something.
Went in there and did something. One man, by the way.
Yeah.
When there was how many standing outside waiting?
Right. They didn't have the right armor. I mean, you've got a Kevlar vest on.
And
you've got an AR with you. What are you waiting for?
Well, there's just so much misinformation coming out from all camps on this. If you want to know about this, find somebody without an agenda that's put together an accurate timeline and see what happened.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Go ahead. I mean,
no. I'm not saying you're wrong, but most people who are just blabbing their mouth on social media before they have actual facts are a problem. And it's just like, at one point they said the door was barricaded, but the guy that saved the day got in with a janitor's key, so the door was not barricaded. You know what I mean? It's just full of junk like that.
Yeah. How long was the actual response, did they say?
They say that cops were on the scene within 10, 15 minutes. However, they were just standing in the school. And at one point, 19 cops were standing in the school doing nothing. And one man with a borrowed shotgun comes in and gets his family out, and then goes in and fixes the problem for everybody else. Now,
you were a hero, sir.
And there's so much. It's like parents were trying to get in. The cops wouldn't go in and wouldn't let the parents in. We're handcuffing, tackling, tasing parents that wanted to go in the building.
I'm here to tell you right now, if my kids are in that building and you try to tase or handcuff me, you're just a victim at that point.
I'm killing cops.
I mean, that's all it comes down to. You try to stop me from going in and getting my kids out of a public school,
100%.
You're going to have an issue.
I can't imagine me standing out there.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have stood out there.
I would have snuck around.
Yep.
Done. So I would have gotten into that school somehow.
But that's the thing. Especially in Texas, I don't see how these parents did. Around here, if that would have happened, our cops would go in and they would solve the problem.
Yes, they would.
And we would be right behind them, solving the problem.
We would all be armed. Let's go.
We'd all be armed to the teeth going in there and taking care of this.
Let's go.
I don't understand why that wasn't the case there. Especially in Texas, you would think everybody's packing in Texas, right?
I don't know for sure, but it seems like it was a very small, Latino community. I don't know if that changes the way people think about guns or carrying, but I didn't hear about any parents arriving with any weapons.
Yeah.
But my heart just goes out to those parents to know that your child is in that school, and there's an active shooter in the. I can't even
imagine.
comprehend.
Nope.
I'm not even going to try to, because I would do a disservice to that. So.
Well, and it's just like the police chief, or maybe he's not the chief, maybe he's something else. But it was one of the higher ups on the force, and was just like, my officers were concerned for their life, so they didn't advance, they didn't proceed. And in one of the other shows I watched was like, that's fine. People can have concern for their life. You need a new job.
Agreed.
That's not how
You're
you
there
do
to
this
serve
job.
And protect.
Right.
And you cannot protect from outside the building.
Yeah, and a lot of people were talking about that. Is that really a cop's job to do that? And I always thought, yeah.
Well, when we're spending our tax dollars teaching them and sending them through active training school and certification, it is their job at that point.
And when they're standing around with Kevlar vest, armed to the teeth, and a dude with a borrowed shotgun runs in and takes care of the problem.
Well, I know, and they're not going to ever release all the information. There'll be an investigation, but it's just like there were as many cops in the building as there were victims. He couldn't have gotten all of them.
No.
You know what I mean? And you're in a. If you look at the layout of the room, it was 2 classrooms connected, so there were 2 doors, and the whole side was windows. There's no way he could have watched both doors and all those windows at the same time. There's something could have been done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He can't. He couldn't get them all. I mean, he wouldn't get anybody if you'd swarm him at the same time.
From four corners, yeah.
Yeah, there's no way he would not. He would be so confused. It's an 18-year-old kid who, by the way, how did he get all this money to buy all this crap that he bought? FBI.
Magic.
Oh, okay. No.
I don't know. Maybe the grandma that he shot in the face before this all started bought it for him. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't trust anything that I see anymore with this stuff. Especially like the Las Vegas shooting that took place at the country music concert. We haven't heard nothing about that.
Oh, I dropped off.
Nothing about that. Mm-hmm. And then when it's kids, you'll see this stuff taking place. I don't believe it. I seriously, I am totally skeptical about all this stuff that I see.
Skeptical, but it's also, it's like they want something like this. Not that they want something like this to happen, but they want something that happened like this in Texas to be center stage.
Yes.
Yeah. Right,
because it was in
Texas. You make no mistake about this whatsoever. When this happened, every liberal was totally excited for it happening, and you are a sick human being.
Oh, 100%.
They were so excited that this happened. They just couldn't wait for it.
Because
they would like to have one every single day.
And how quickly it flipped. We went from 2 weeks before wanting the right to kill babies to now that same group of people really concerned about these 19.
That's right. But if you're
just overnight,
if you can make it out of that womb, the liberals really love you.
Mm-hmm.
They really want to take care of you.
Yeah, because they want that vote.
They do, because now you can vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's yeah. And then people say, well, you're hypocritical because these guns are killing. These guns are not killing people.
Mm-mm.
I had a cartoon that I put up on Facebook that I thought was very telling. But a sheep is killed by a wolf. The other sheep see that the wolf killed the sheep by using teeth. The sheep have all their teeth removed.
I saw this.
And give them to the government. The wolf still has teeth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now they have just... You really think that criminals are just going to be like, you know what, everybody got rid of their guns, I guess we will too. They're not going to do that. You'd have to be an absolute idiot like Beto O'Rourke, who, by the way, his real name's Robert. That's cultural appropriation, by the way. He's trying to sound more Hispanic.
It is.
So they're so desirous of this to happen. They want this stuff to happen. They're so excited when it does happen, and that's just a sick human being. Yeah,
Yep.
You guys are being bad. It's bad. I know, like, people in Ireland aren't interested in this stuff.
It's
because all you have is just mass stabbings. Go ahead. Yeah.
They don't have guns, do they? Like he was posting.
No, I think it's about they do knives over there.
Yeah, because he was
knives and
he was trying to sell
Shillelaghs.
an airsoft weapon, and I thought, man, it's a sniper rifle, right? And I thought, yeah, send that to the U.S. He said, you won't want it. They're regulated here. This thing only shoots like 200 feet per second or something like that. It's a pellet gun.
And it's regulated.
Yeah.
Garth, if you want something, I'll send it to you.
If you need protection,
yeah.
It's all about agenda. They don't care that it was actually a good guy with a gun who followed rules that saved the day.
Right.
They don't care that this scenario and most other scenarios happen in gun-free zones. That law doesn't matter. The idea of not having a gun there didn't matter. And in fact, we needed a gun there.
We needed guns.
If we had a security officer or just
right.
somebody, a resource person there that was armed, this wouldn't have happened.
But you're talking about people who have absolutely no common sense whatsoever.
Well, they broke down, all that money we sent to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Divided by all the schools. That was $400,000 per school a year.
Yeah.
Good
that we
gracious.
could have hired. Each school could have had 2
$400,000 worth of
military
security
men
stuff.
that were mercenary trained that could be in that school to protect them.
Fortify our schools if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, you put
arm the teachers.
You just put two let's say ex-military guys in there, retired dudes in there with weapons.
Yeah.
They're going to eat the chance for some dude to
they
come
would
in
absolutely
there
love it.
They're going to destroy him.
Yeah. And this is like they had a bunch of parents the days after that decided, you know what, I'm going to go stand at the front of the school. But he had to do it without a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
What's he going to do if somebody shows up with a long rifle from the parking lot?
Take them all out.
He's not any help there. Somebody standing at the front doors, no help like that.
You're like a British cop.
Yeah.
Stop! Or I'll yell stop more forcibly. It's just an agenda, man. They want to get rid of stuff. And this, they want to get rid of the guns. Why do you think they want to get rid of guns? You think they really care about our kids? No. They want to take away the guns so that they can be this big tyrannical government that they desire to be.
Control. It's all.
And that's all it's about, to control.
I mean, they're still screaming that we need better background checks or better. It needs to be harder to buy a weapon. It's actually pretty hard. I watched Crowder try to take 2 teenage girls to buy a weapon. He did a little video, and it's like it's a complicated process. Yeah. This kid bought the guns legally. He went through it. He passed a background check.
Yeah,
it's not going to change anything.
I went and bought 2 guns in one day. Bought one, left, came back, and bought another one, and tragically lost them in a lake.
It is terrible. That's where
it's horrible. I had to go through 2 background checks.
Mm-hmm.
I had the same guy wait on me. And I was like, I was just here this morning. He goes, no, I don't care.
Yeah.
You had to do another check. Liberals have this kind of understanding. And here's where you have to, this is where they're coming from. They really think that when you go into, I'm not kidding. This is not hyperbole. They really think that when you go into a gun store, that you go, I want that one. Here's the cash. And they're like, here you go. See you later. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they think.
Now, there are places where you can get guns like that. And if they get their way, those places will be all that exist.
Yes.
Black market and stuff like that. Absolutely. Yeah. And all the criminals will be, they're criminals for a reason. They don't obey laws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they're going to continue to do this stuff. And they have no common sense whatsoever. None. So that's what you're dealing with. And so they're trying to turn Texas blue because they feel like if they turn Texas blue, they can win because Florida's gone.
Yeah.
So now they have to have Texas. But I'm going to tell you something. You keep bringing all these Hispanics in. The Hispanics, after a few years, they start voting Republican. So you need to be very careful about that. I would love it for it to come in and just go solid red. It's like, thank you. So I want to do a little thing here. Just kind of, we are all about educating people. And so we want to share with you.
The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. We couldn't find the other ones from the 80s. They didn't look good. So, and plus they had the rainbow colors. Because we're all into this.
We technically have
there is a rainbow on there. It's got the 80s triangle on it, though.
That's true. That's true. And we're all about straight pride and all that stuff.
Straight pride.
So we want to educate you guys up a little bit about the Second Amendment because there's a lot of confusion concerning that. And what's sad is that the people in Washington, who are supposed to be the smartest people in the room, have no understanding about the Constitution and the Amendment and the Bill of Rights.
They don't know.
They know nothing about it.
Oh, my gosh. It's off topic. Did you hear Biden talk about a 9mm bullet yesterday?
Oh, no. I would have loved to hear that, though. You know the thing.
No, I can't remember what bullet
he goes in and explodes. Is that what
he says? If a certain bullet is used, I can't remember which caliber he said. He says he was dealing with like a medical examiner or something, and he says if this size bullet is used, sometimes it gets lodged in the lung, and we can get it out and save the life. But a 9mm bullet removes the lung from the body.
So the bullet stops. It makes an incision. It gets its knife out, makes an incision, and opens you up and removes the lung because that's the only way.
Right. He was saying that it blows the lung out the exit wound.
Oh, that's a heck of a 9mm. I'd really like to have some of those rounds. Can you hook me up there, Ryan?
All of the conservative YouTubers were tearing that up today.
Oh, he is such a moron.
Seriously, go out and take a 9mm rifle. They do make those.
It's true. Carbines.
Yeah, and go out and shoot a deer with it. He'll just laugh at you.
Yeah, the deer will be like, ow.
Ow, what is that
for?
And he'll run away. He's an idiot. Everybody. Wow. I think pretty much everybody, even liberals, have concluded this guy's an idiot.
Yeah, everyone knows he's a moron. It's not a surprise at this point.
He is.
You don't see anybody, even in my liberal circle friends, you don't see them defending anything he does. They don't talk about him at all.
You see no Biden flags anywhere.
No, you can't.
None.
Because you would have to be just as big as an idiot as he is.
Yeah. Because you know you're going to get tormented if you have one. Because people are going to be like, oh my gosh, here comes a Biden person, pull over. Because they they can I'm going to kill you because you have a gun sticker. You have I have NRA plates on every car. That's a wonder I haven't been keyed yet.
Yeah, it is a wonder.
You're
in a good area.
I'm in a good town. Yeah, everybody here. Yeah. In southern Indiana, everybody loves guns, and so it's fun. But the Second Amendment, when it was created, and this is where the confusion comes in. The Second Amendment was never. It wasn't just this thing of, okay, we want everybody to have the right to have a gun, and that's it. You could just have a gun. The Second Amendment was created so that we, the people, would have protection from a government that ever went crazy.
A tyrannical government.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the framers' intent. Mm-hmm. The original intent was the citizens need protection from their government. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. And so when they get on there and they say stuff like, you don't need an assault rifle, if you said that and Madison and Adams and those people were sitting around with you, they would say, does the government have one? Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. Then the citizens need that.
Yep, absolutely.
On my Facebook page, if the government has a tank, I need a tank. Mm-hmm. The citizens need a tank. We need to be able to, and understand when this was written, we didn't have a standing army. It was pretty much the militia. It was it was that group. So I need whatever my government has, and I have most of it. And I lost it tragically in a lake accident.
We don't have a tank. We need a tank.
It's sitting at the bottom of the lake too. It's terrible.
And so they really just think that we just take guns and we just have them just to have them.
Well, they think we have guns just so we can go out and do terrible things with them.
Right.
That's what they really think.
Right. And that's the big, you don't need this. That's what I hear all the time. You don't need this. Mm-hmm. If my government has it, I need it.
Well, technically, you don't need electricity. You don't need running water. You don't need
any of that stuff.
A lot of stuff that you have.
A lot of the people saying what we don't need are protected by people carrying that very same thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their stomachs are rally.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, my gosh.
You just ate.
I heard that's in my headphones.
Okay?
He just ate. That's probably what he ate.
That could be.
He eats gas station food, man.
It's not sushi this time, though.
I know. So wonder it's not killing him.
It probably is.
So
I didn't need gas station food.
That's true.
But I ate it anyway.
But you wanted it.
I wanted it.
So the Second Amendment in its original intent is just a fascinating amendment because it's solely there to protect us from these nut jobs in Washington. And if you understand it, if you know how crazy they are, you would be able to say, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. If you could understand how evil the government is, how evil these people, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, whatever group it is, if you knew how crazy they were, you would say, thank God we have the Second Amendment. Because, I mean, seriously, FBI showing up at 4 a.m. and kicking your door in, and as they're kicking their door in, they're yelling, warrant? Mm-hmm. You got to have something to protect you from these people doing this stuff.
Yeah, because one day they'll go over the edge.
One day they'll go over the edge.
Well, just look at it. Just look what's happening in Canada.
Canada's gone nuts.
Our country is telling us that we don't need assault rifle style weapons, that a handgun's fine. And the country that's connected to us is saying, no, you can't have those anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be enough, Canada?
No, of course it's not.
Yeah.
It never will be.
You're French anyway.
And they never can define, and they do it with misinformation to create confusion and panic, but they never will define what we don't really need. We pushed back on what is an assault weapon, and they call an assault weapon a semi-automatic. Well, a pistol's a semi-automatic. Mm-hmm. It can become an assault weapon in the right hands. But it's like, so we won't talk about assault weapons anymore. We're just talking about how many bullets you're allowed to use, how many you can have on you, and how many fit in the magazine or the drum. And it's just like,
you only need one.
They never define it in a way that says, let's come up with a set of rules that we cannot have, and maybe we could stick with that. But no, it's just all misinformation and confusion.
Yeah. And, I make outlandish statements. I get that. But I really think these people would have no problem going into a school and killing 600 children to get their way.
I would venture to say that Alex Jones was not wrong about one of those situations in the last decade or so.
Easy.
Oh, that's a whole other podcast. And
we need an Alex Jones podcast.
We'd really get banned.
We ought to invite him on here.
He can't be on YouTube.
I thought somebody had him on not too long ago, I thought.
Did he?
Yeah, maybe not.
Rogan has him on all the time.
I know. Yeah, Rogan
loves him.
He hasn't been on Rogan in a while.
I bet those don't make it to YouTube. I bet they just do Spotify.
Yeah, we're going to find out Alex Jones was right about a lot of stuff.
I mean, he's batting like 80-something% right now. So.
Yeah.
And the rest of us to be determined.
He's just an idiot when he spews out of his mouth. That's the problem.
Yeah, he gets a little excited.
What's funny is like, and I don't really know about this. I just watch videos from both sides and stuff like that, and you just look at this stuff and you watch these videos of these people who are trying to debunk these things or are trying to say that these things happened and the government was involved, and then you watch the videos where they're debunking what this video said, and it's so weak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like, really? I mean, there's a video out there called the Sloppy Sniper. Look that video up. It's about a shooting that took place at a school, and they've got this guy who is supposed to be FBI sniper walking along, carrying the gun by the magazine with the rifle pointed backwards with the strap dragging down, which even a hunter like us is not going to carry a gun that way.
Some hillbilly redneck like myself is not carrying.
And he's supposed to be FBI sniper, and it's like, man, really?
Yeah.
And he looks incredibly like one of the parents to him.
It is amazing that we
need to watch that video one night. If we just ever get to the point where we want to go scorched earth and get totally banned from YouTube, we need to watch that video and show people.
One or the one about Sandy Hook?
The Sloppy Sniper.
Okay.
We need to watch that.
There you go.
And the Sandy Hook thing, it's like, granted, I don't want to see pictures of the kids at all.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But you never see any pictures from you don't see broken glass. You don't see anything from the inside.
And the thing is,
nothing.
The thing is that we can't discredit that those kids may have died that day.
Absolutely.
But the propaganda that was pushed to us to show it was not factual.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing they hated about it was that he was Latino. If he had been white, it would have been perfect.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been the perfect thing for them to happen. So, I don't know if we'll ever get to that point. But everybody who watches this show agrees with what we say. But if you're a liberal and you just come across it, I just warn you, there are some guys out there who are just waiting for something to happen. And most of these guys are special forces. Mm-hmm. And they even had a SEAL get on there on Rogan and basically said, if the cockeye hits the fan, don't think that we're going to sit back and watch this happen. Mm-hmm. And if these guys get involved, and you're talking about these special operators, and there's probably thousands of them out there. Liberals, you don't want that to happen, because you little soy boy, pajama boy people, and little transgender running around, they're not going to be able to help you at all.
And the thing is, all the little rednecks with guns are going to be following those thousands of boys.
But I don't
have official training.
But what's going to be the point that makes that happen? Mm-hmm. What's going to be the point to where we've had enough?
I really think at this point the forefathers would have already been
absolutely.
Stuff in the harbor.
Absolutely. The gas prices going up like they are.
Yeah,
they'd already be storming Washington.
They would be sitting back today going, why aren't you guys doing anything?
Why aren't you doing anything?
It's too far gone.
And it's so funny, this country was founded by actually people today who would be considered radicals.
Oh, yeah.
People who would be locked up in a solitary confinement in Washington, which I ironically named Washington, who, by the way, led a rebellion, if you don't know anything about history. Yeah, we're actually, right now, our government is the British Empire, and we're the colonies.
Yep.
It is. No taxation without representation. We're not being represented in Washington by anybody.
No, and we're being taxed literally every time you turn around.
Yeah, and if Biden runs again and wins in a landslide, I hope that you brain dead morons out there will finally wake up and say, you know what? There's something nefarious going on here.
They won't.
The Democrats wouldn't even give him the bid again. I mean, that's not happening.
I at this point, I couldn't see it.
I'm surprised the Democrats haven't removed him already on their own terms.
No, they're doing just fine.
Because then they look like a hero. If they remove one of their own that wasn't good for us.
He's at the 20s right now.
Really?
Favorability among independents.
That's still not good.
That's not good. Seriously, man. I mean, you can put a serial killer up there, and he's going to be in the 20s. You know, he's bad. And wow, he's bad. And if even if it was a Republican and he was this bad, I would say something. It's just this dude.
Yeah, because
this is my president, man.
Vote with your conscience, but vote with your wallet too. I mean, good grief! Look at the prices on just not gas, food, housing, cars. Literally everything in your life is ridiculously inflated.
And what's sad about it, and the shortages that are taking place, and the people in Washington have no clue why it's happening. They don't know. Seriously, and I don't think they do know. They don't have any idea why this stuff's not happening. The COVID excuse, get over that. I'm tired of hearing that.
Yeah, it's gone, over with, done.
Yeah, well, we can't because of COVID. No, there's a reason. Why are we not getting baby formula?
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden we can't make that? Why are our food processing plants catching on fire?
You want to know something? Is they didn't talk about baby formula being locked up until just a few weeks ago.
Which was about the same time.
I will tell you this. Our local Walmart locked up baby formula months before this happened.
Really?
They knew.
Right. Suspicion, whatever.
It's because everything...
They moved the whole store around and put all the baby formula in a locked glass cabinet months ago. I thought it was weird.
It's because everything that you need is being shipped down to the border to take care of those people who are coming across illegally. Mm-hmm. You don't think they have baby formula down there? They do. You're paying out the wazoo for it, and they're getting it for free.
Yep.
Is that enough to make you mad?
Not if you're a liberal.
Not if you're liberal.
You're like, oh, good. I don't like having money. I'd just rather have all of those people.
They don't need
happy.
money. Like we don't need guns, they don't need money.
Yeah, you don't need money, liberals.
I'd go in there and I'd say, okay, we're going to do illegal immigration. Here's how we're going to do immigration. Here's how we're going to do it. You have to, but you used to have to do this. You had to have a sponsor. Mm-hmm. And so what we're going to do is, the Gonzalez family that comes in, across the river, they get to go stay with a Hollywood liberal, and they have to stay there, and they're checked up on to make sure that they are staying there. You have to take care of everything, and then we would see it drop.
Oh yeah.
I mean, LeBron James got a big enough house; he could house several families there. Why don't he do it?
Oh, because he likes to talk with this.
LeBron, you care so much about black people. There's a bunch of black homeless people out on the streets who would love to live in your mansion. Go get some.
Yeah.
But you're not going to because you're a hypocrite. Boom. Okay. I should be
He's
done.
not Elon Musk. He's not asked to do stuff like that.
That's true.
All they want to do is just, they want to cry about it all the time and never actually do anything to fix the problem. Because if you fix the problem, they don't have anything to cry about.
Oh, they find something.
If we got rid of guns and put an abortion clinic on every corner, there would be something next week that would come up.
Yeah.
It's just about control. That's all it is. They want to control you, and you gave in with COVID, and they saw how far they could get.
And now they're just going to keep going.
I don't know. You think at the end, though, they were kind of like, okay, they're really getting ticked off about this. I think maybe they thought this didn't go as well as we thought.
I think that's why it just completely fell off the face of the planet. Like, one day, COVID was just gone.
I think they tried it, and everybody.
The moment Fauci said it was gone.
And I think that was when they were like, okay, people are starting to get ticked with this.
It was right on the 2-year anniversary, remember?
Yeah. Did you see that thing with Fauci where he was like, if Trump is elected president, I'm going to quit? I was like, that's the greatest endorsement.
Yeah.
I'd seriously, if I was Trump, that's what I'd run on right there.
Yeah,
I'll get rid of Fauci.
I'll get rid of Fauci. He said he'll quit. Oh, but wait, all the liberals said they'd move to Canada too. They're still here though.
Yeah. Why don't they move to Canada? It's a utopia up there.
Yeah, there's no guns.
It's a dictatorship. That's what you guys love, socialism.
Everything's more expensive.
Oh, but wait, they're here making money, so
they don't want to go to Canada because they have all this freedom and stuff here. Mm-hmm. Go to Canada. Why don't you? I'll pay for you to go.
I haven't seen it.
I would sponsor a one-way trip.
We could take that $40 billion. If you said we're going to set aside $40 billion to send liberals to Canada, you would have total support in the Senate.
And you would also have $40 billion of unspent money.
Because none of them would go.
None of them would go.
They've been talking about going for the last 6 years or so.
Go. You hate America? Go. Kaepernick, move. I don't care.
Like I said, I'll personally sponsor you if you want to go. Like, I'll do one-way trip.
I mean, have some cojones. If you're going to say something, back it up.
Yeah, I'll drive you to the border and drop you off.
I hate this country. Well, then move.
Yeah, get out.
You got the money? Move. Do like Tom Hanks and go to Greece.
Oh, yeah. That's weird how that
and then get on there and lecture us about civility.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you moved to Greece, you moron.
Yeah, because he's raping
Go lecture children. Greece.
Yeah, he needed another citizenship to deal with that island he'd been spending time
he'd been on that island for a while.
We're going to find out someday. When all these people die, we're going to find out
Whatever happened to that Giselle Maxine or whatever?
Well, she's alive so far.
Whatever happened to her though? It's like that just dropped off the face of the planet too.
Yeah. Oh, they're very happy to sweep that underneath the rug.
Oh, but you heard about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard for the last 3 weeks.
Good gosh.
That was a distraction. So
Michael knows you ought to be ashamed.
Yeah.
A clickbait, man.
What Michael knows?
Michael knows that's all he's posted.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all Shapiro's been posting too.
I know. It's like, come on, guys.
Really?
Get with it.
You're above this. Nobody cares.
I'm paying for a subscription. You better do better.
Yeah.
Amber Heard let herself go. She was hot in one movie, but she's like,
Aquaman.
It is. That's a ruse.
Yeah.
She wanted to look terrible in court. She lost, by the way, today. I don't know if you guys saw.
Oh, she did lose?
She got a $2 million suit from, I guess, one of the lawyers.
It doesn't matter. She owes Johnny Depp so much that when it's all said and done, she owes him $8.5 million or something like that.
Yeah.
She'll never be able to do that.
No, she'll never work again.
She'll never work again.
Well, I guess you shouldn't have lied.
Yeah, Amber Heard, porn star. That's the way she's going to make money.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird. And on that note, we'll finish up because we're just babbling right now. So we love you guys. We're going to try to do another podcast and start trying to do 2 this week to make up for all the ones we missed. And so we love you guys. Peace out.
The Gospel Broalition is done, leaving behind charred minds, exhaust fumes, ammo, multiple cigar wrappers, and an empty bottle.
I thought it was
bourbon.
15. How in the world do we do this?
Accomplished.
Where's my Seinfeld?
Listening to the Gospel Broalition with Pastor Lee, J.R. Robinson, and the Hoosier Hillbilly, Mike Paul.
The show about
The
nothing.
show for men, by men.
The show about
If
nothing
it's
and
religion,
everything at the same time.
politics, cars, guns,
You'll either be
cigars,
enlightened or-
and anything else flammable, we're talking about it. We hope you enjoyed the show.
I'm gonna
We
do that
know
next.
we had fun. We'll be back soon, and thank you for
Welcome
being
to
a
the
part
Broalition
of
podcast,
the
the show about
Gospel
nothing.
Broalition.